the ability to focus, the ability to be alert, the ability to continue working. So dopamine is kind of the building block of
So we need dopamine
energy.
to have
That's
focus, to work towards a goal,
That's
to
right.
accomplish things.
That's right. This is the beauty of the underdog. An underdog mentality is I'm never gonna allow myself to think I'm gonna win so that I can keep winning. But that's a high friction way to go through life. So the way that it was taught to me best, I think, was my graduate advisor. She said, we published our first paper, it turned out great, it was in a great journal, and she said, this is wonderful, I'd worked very hard on it, frankly, and she said, look, just remember, you're never as good as you think you are, you're never as bad as you think you are. Right. You're somewhere in the middle, but you can get really good at the process. And I think that there's a lot of kind of treacherous thinking around goal setting and dopamine and things. There's this idea that if we're really amped up, that we're just gonna have jet thrusters that are gonna take us to the end. But the key is to move that horizon in closer and closer. And a way that one could do this, for instance, would be you get up in the morning, or let's say you're kind of low energy in the afternoon, that you do your breathing to get more alert, but you've got this voice of doubt. There's like a voice of doubt. Is this working? I don't know. Remember, you can introduce thoughts on top of that. You're not gonna get very far trying to suppress these thoughts. The better thing to do is just kind of swamp them with
Positivity.
a positive thought. Then, if you can
not think about the negative thought, add positive thinking and possibilities and opportunities into your thinking.
That's right. But trying to suppress negative thoughts is like whack-a-mole. They just keep popping up all over the place. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But there is a way to play a slightly different game, right? And I think that in learning how to think positively and register the positive feelings that come from that, and then you use that as a way to propel to the next goal. Now we're talking about this in kind of self-help wellness space and tacking some neuroscience to it, some speculative neuroscience explanations. However, we have to remember that this mechanism of dopamine and pathfinding to goals is in every animal, humans, dogs, sheep, any animal that needs to forage for things,
to
for
find
food or
food.
water.
Yeah.
They don't just get that dopamine release at the end. They get it when they realize they're on the right track. So a grazing animal might be on a really barren landscape and then smell something off in the environment. Now that was an external pull. Or think, you know what, I'm gonna go that way because, I don't know, I need to go some way. They go some direction and they don't smell water, which animals can do. And so they veer off course, and then all of a sudden they get a little bit of scent of water. At that point, that's when the dopamine is released, not when they get the water and drink from it. So that puts them in energy to get there. You think about walking in the desert and you're just dying of thirst, and all of a sudden you spot a big lake. All of a sudden, you will have the energy to run the remaining mile, whereas before you thought you were gonna die. How is that? It's not like more glycogen is suddenly available. It's not like ketones did it for you. So what did it? That's dopamine. That's dopamine release that says there's a reward waiting for me.
And that's from the brain.
The brain
is releasing dopamine,
right.
or is it a nerve connected to the gut that goes back to the brain? What is the process?
Great question. So there's an area of the brain called the ventral tegmental area, substantia nigra. All these areas have different names, but that release dopamine into the brain, and they give the immediate sense of possibility, and they promote energy.
Wow.
And epinephrine, or adrenaline, is a molecule that we're all associated with. It's what gives us energy. It's actually when it goes really high, it's the basis of the stress response, which is a lot of energy. But epinephrine is manufactured, it's made from the molecule dopamine. It's a couple biochemical steps, but it's actually made from dopamine.
Epinephrine gives you energy?
Epinephrine is essentially the basis of neural energy. It's the way
brain
that you
energy.
Yeah, the ability to focus, the ability to be alert, the ability to continue working. So dopamine is kind of the building block of
So we need dopamine
energy.
to have
That's
focus, to work towards a goal,
That's
to
right.
accomplish things.
That's right.